Nice launch trajectory and countdown net. Pad is clear.
10, 9, 8.
Launch auto sequence
7,
has started.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Go for launch.
Vehicle is supersonic.
Stage separation confirmed. Dragon, separation confirmed.
Stage 1 is transonic. Landing legs have deployed. And Falcon 9 has landed. Falcon 9, ispace. Go for launch.
Great news. All systems are go for launch of Falcon 9 with ispace Mission 1.
T-minus 20 seconds and counting. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Stop.
Just heard a call out for max Q. That is maximum dynamic pressure. This is the largest structural load that the vehicle sees on ascent. Now that we're past the period of max Q, or maximum dynamic pressure, we do have 5 events coming up in quick succession. That'll be MECO, stage separation, stage 1 flip, SES-1, and then the boost back burn on the first stage will begin. Again, MECO is where all 9 of those engines that you see lit up on your screen, those will shut down. That helps slow the stage down in preparation for stage separation. Then the first stage will do a flip in order to make its way back to its landing zone today on land, followed by SES-1 or second stage engine start 1 on the second stage. That's where the MVAC engine will ignite. And then the boost back burn will also begin on the first stage. Those events are coming up here in just a few seconds.
Stage separation confirmed.
MVAC ignition.
Stage 1 boost back startup.
Some really cool views there. We just had MECO stage separation. You could see the stage 1 flipping in the background of the MVAC view, and an awesome view of the first stage boost back burn there. Awesome, awesome views. Again, that was MECO stage separation, stage 1 flip. Stage 1 is currently in its boost back burn.
Bearing separation confirmed.
And there you can see on the right-hand screen, the fairing halves have deployed from the second stage as well. These fairing halves have completed their 4th and 5th flight and will be recovered when they return back down to Earth on our recovery vessel, Bob.
Stage 1 boost back shut down.
And as you saw on your left-hand screen, the engine has shut down on the first stage. That concludes the boost back burn for stage 1. And an awesome view here This is from our Falcon 9 second stage, looking at our MVAC engine in its first burn at the moment, T plus 4 minutes into today's mission. We are in the first of 2 planned MVAC burns before payload deployment. At T plus 6 minutes and 33 seconds, you should see on your screen the first stage's entry burn. That burn will last about 20 seconds. Now, the entry burn is where we relight 3 M1D engines, starting with the center E9 engine, then followed shortly afterwards by the E1 and E5 engines. Now, that slows the vehicle down as it passes back into the Earth's atmosphere. Now, we need to slow the stage down in order to reduce re-entry forces, and that helps us with recovery and reuse of the first stage. Now, again, what you're seeing on your screen is a view of the MVAC engine on the second stage. So far, looking like it's on a nominal trajectory. Now, reusability is key to lowering the cost.
Vehicles on nominal trajectory.
Great call-outs there. Reusability is key to lowering the cost of spaceflight, which enables more investments in critical scientific research. The Falcon 9 first stage that is supporting today's mission will perform this entry burn for the 5th time, previously having supported SES-22 and 3 Starlink missions. Again, that entry burn will be coming up in just about a minute from now, around the T plus 6 minute and 33 second mark. During that entry burn, Falcon 9 is decelerating by firing its Merlin engines, and we are still moving rapidly. This causes the vehicle to fly through Merlin's exhaust gases, which we also call the rocket's plume, and this deposits a layer of soot on the vehicle's surface. Now, that soot comes from the carbon-based fuel that Falcon 9 uses. About 30 seconds away from the entry burn on the first stage. Again, you're seeing a view of the second stage MVAC engine on your screen.
Stage 1, entry burn startup.
And there now on your left-hand screen is the first stage. We did hear the call out and also can see those engines lighting up the screen, very bright there. This burn lasts about 20 seconds. Again, it's 3 of 9 M1D engines reigniting.
Stage 1, entry burn shut down.
Stage 1 FTS is saved.
And as you saw, the engines have shut down. That concludes the entry burn for the first stage. Next up, in just about 30 seconds, will be the landing burn for the first stage. That's a single engine burn, the center E9 engine. Each engine is optimized for sea level.
Startup terminal guidance.
And it has about 190,000 pounds of thrust, so that single engine is just enough thrust to enable the first stage vehicle to touch down on its landing zone. Today will be
Stage 1 transonic.
It will be landing zone 2, or LZ2, that we will be attempting to land on today. And just after the landing burn begins,
Stage 1 landing burn.
as we just saw and heard, the Stage 1 vehicle landing burn has begun.
Nominal orbit insertion.
Stage 1 landing leg deployed. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Really awesome views there. As you can see, Falcon 9 has touched down on landing zone 2. That is our 155th recovery of an orbital class rocket, including first stage landings for Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy. Now, we also had SECO 1, or second stage engine cutoff 1, And that is of that MVAC engine that you can see there shut down. But the mission is not over just yet. The second stage is now embarking on its first coast phase. After the coast phase, we will light that MVAC engine for a second time at T plus 40 minutes. We will not have ground station coverage for SES-2 and SECO-2, so we'll come back to confirm a successful burn right before payload deploy at the T plus 47 minute mark. So sit back and enjoy the space tunes, and we'll see you back here in about 35 minutes.
sat there in 25th century AD. We sat there and looked at the rockets on Mars, and you just boggled the mind. And the technology caught up, didn't it?
Welcome back to the webcast for ispace Mission 1. So far, we've had an on-time launch at 2:38 a.m. Eastern Time, followed by successful ascent, stage separation, first stage landing, and a second stage engine burn. Now, during the coast phase, we were expected to have a second relight and shutdown of our second stage, which should be confirmed momentarily here. The next major milestone coming up on today's mission is the deployment of the ispace Series 1 lunar lander from Falcon 9's second stage, which will happen in just about 30 seconds from now. Now, as a reminder, today's launch is a part of the HAKUTO-R program and is the first of 2 missions. Mission 2 is tentatively planned for 2024. Both missions are considered technology demonstrations and will provide feedback for future missions. And we're just a few seconds away from payload deploy.
ispace M1 payload deploy confirmed.
And great news, as you can see on your screen, the ispace Series 1 lunar lander is now on its way towards the moon. Great view there. Our mission isn't over yet. As mentioned earlier in the webcast, we do have a ride share on today's mission. Lunar Flashlight will deploy around T+53 minutes. So sit back, enjoy the views, and we'll see you back here in another 5 minutes. Welcome back to the webcast for ispace Mission 1. If you're just joining us, we've had a nominal mission so far, having deployed the ispace Series 1 payload just a few minutes ago. We are now coming up on the final milestone for today's launch, the deployment of Lunar Flashlight. Managed by the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, operated by Georgia Tech, and integrated by Maverick Space Systems, Lunar Flashlight will be finding and mapping water on the moon, which will help enable humans to permanently work and live on the surface of the moon. Using a new green propulsion technology and 4 compact lasers, Lunar Flashlight will peer into permanently shadowed craters and areas of the moon that never see sunlight. Now, deployment of Lunar Flashlight should occur in about 10 seconds or so. And as a reminder, we may not have views of this deployment due to the placement of the payload on our camera and our cameras, but we'll listen in and keep an eye out to see if we can see it drift off in the distance. And in your view there, you can actually see the ispace Series 1 lunar lander off in the distance there.
Lunar Flashlight separation confirmed.
And we just heard that call out that we did have deployment of the Lunar Flashlight. Again, off in the distance is the Series 1 lunar lander there. Again, we may not see the Lunar Flashlight, but we did hear the confirmation of payload deploy. So Lunar Flashlight is now on its journey to find water at the south pole of the moon. And with successful deployment of Lunar Flashlight, that will end our webcast coverage for this mission. All of us here at SpaceX want to give a big thank you to our customer iSpace for entrusting us with today's mission. We also want to give a shout out to the Range and Federal Aviation Administration for supporting today's mission. And thanks to all of you, our viewers, for tuning in. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you again soon.